Ladies, gents, so I was supposed to start my vacation a little bit earlier, like just a few days ago, but then I chose to work a little bit extra. But now I'm finished working extra and I'm going on vacation! Okay, so first stop on the vacation is Amsterdam. Before I started in CityJet, I used to work in Thailand. I lived there for like 5 months. And while I lived there, I made a really good friend. A really good friend. She's the best. And we haven't seen each other for 2 years since I lived there. And now she's finally in Amsterdam. I'm absolutely dying to see her. So first stop in the vacation, Amsterdam. I'm so excited. My stomach literally has butterflies. Like okay, where is she? I'm totally lost. Oh my god, I think it's here. How get through? There? Hey!
How are you?
How are you? You're on video now, by the way.
God.
I found her!
They're chickens. Filming, otherwise I say crazy things, you know?
You always say crazy
Yeah,
things.
I don't have a filter. So tell me when to switch my filter on, please.
Now you can switch your filter on.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, what do we do?
We had dinner.
Yeah.
We drink a lot of water and Coca-Cola and tea.
Water and Coca-Cola.
And tea. And now we're going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the vlog.
I forgot to present you. Everyone, this is A.
Good evening from the studios of Amsterdam New Markt. This is A Crovetto speaking to you, and we all wish you a very good night.
Where do you come from?
I can't remember.
Yeah, okay, so well, that was it.
This is the National Theatre, which is one of my very favorite buildings in Amsterdam, along with the Scales, the Waag, where we had our very first Irish coffee tonight.
Ah,
You're like on interview now. I'm interrogating you.
Yeah, the first Irish coffee, first of a long series of Irish coffee.
what else did we do? We did talk a lot.
Taking the photo.
Had some serious conversation. We had a really giggly conversation. I have to keep my fans posted, you know.
So what is it you do with this video?
I make a teaser that I put on Instagram, and then the actual video is on YouTube.
Well, who looks at it anyway?
Who looks at it anyway? Those who's interested in becoming flight attendants, for example.
If you want to learn scuba diving, then come to me. Flying up in the sky, me diving down in the ocean.
And what's your Instagram name?
A Crovetto.
04, I think. So if you have any questions about scuba diving, you can go there. Okay,
and we're still very, see, we're not drunk, we're not even, I'm actually not even tipsy.
Me neither, for a change. Yeah.
For a change,
Yeah.
as in normally.
Yeah. The
No,
past
actually-
months I had a little.
Actually, these whole 3 weeks, this is the second night I'm drinking.
There or there?
Yeah.
Ah, lost. I feel so lost.
Sorry.
I feel like a little kid. Like. Oh, okay. What is the most cheesy thing to do as tourist? Take a boat ride.
It's actually really interesting. I still enjoy it.
It's day number 3. And oops, I'm leaving Amsterdam, going to Alicante, and I just got a seat on board Vole. Sorry. Hi, I'm from CityJet.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to the Dania Urban Resort. Hello. I would like to check in, please.
Alright, your reservation under what name, please?
Helen. Okay, not bad, really. I like this. Yes, now we're talking. All right, so finally, I'm gonna tell you how to become a flight attendant. Now, in the beginning, it's not really rocket science. To kill some rumors here, if someone told you that it's good to have some kind of training course before you apply for whatever airline, it's not. Whatever airline that you choose to work for, that you get a job offer with, they will train you themselves in their own training facilities. So you don't actually have to worry about that. However, it is good, not necessary, but good to have experience with first aid. Like if you've been a nurse, for example, that's always good. They like that. But again, it's not really necessary. So it's really easy. The first steps are really easy. You go online and you look for cabin crew careers, and there is a bunch of airlines who's currently recruiting that will show up when you look for it, and choose whatever airline you want to apply for. If they invite you to an interview, some airlines, they invite you to an open day first and then to the actual interview, and some other airlines, they go straight for the interview. So if they invite you to the interview, be at your very, very best. First of all, that's very important. Dress up, look nice, and be yourself. They like that. Be yourself, be open, be social when you are at the interview, talk to other people. And the interview will most probably be in 2 different stages. So one is a group interview. They probably will give you some tasks that you have to do and some problems that you have to solve as a group. And they will check how you interact with other people when you're trying to solve a problem. Because this is really important for teamwork. Teamwork is absolutely everything in aviation, and especially when you're working as a flight attendant. come up with suggestions on how to solve the problem. And then they will go for the individual interview. This is where they will dig a little bit deeper. They will ask you questions about how you would act and react in different kind of scenarios. They will probably tell you to tell them about a scenario that you had before, maybe not related to aviation, but related to something else, with customers, with other employees or colleagues. And then if you pass these interviews, they will invite you for training. So different airlines, different length of training. However, for me in my previous company, I had 4 weeks of training. Your training would most likely take part in their training facilities and will be split into 2 or more types of courses. So the first course will be you will be trained in aviation basics, like what makes the aircraft fly, regulations and rules, different companies, safety and security companies, aviation safety related companies, and what goes on. And then they will train you on the specific aircraft type that they have chosen you to work on. Could be, for example, Boeing 737, it could be a kind of Airbus, it could be something else, like for me it's the Bombardier CRJ. And you will be trained in security, normal procedures, emergency procedures, and some do also train really hard with service. So they will train you in absolutely everything. And what's really important here is to not forget that this is the part that is not rocket science. This is hard training. They will give you a book that will be pretty much your Bible for the next weeks or months. And then you have to pass a whole bunch of exams. And when you pass the exams, you will start flying. So you will be trained first on the ground for this and that many weeks. And then when you've passed the training, they will give you your cabin crew attestation. And then when you pass the normal and emergency procedures exam, they will give you the actual license. And then you will be trained on what we call it line. You will be line trained. So you will be trained on board practically. You will be doing practical stuff on board, and there will be an instructor there with you, teaching you and explaining to you. And then after X numbers of days or flying hours with line training, you will have another exam. So this is where they will grill you with questions about everything that you should know. And for some airlines, you have to know everything so close to your heart. They will grill you, I promise you. And that is pretty much how you become a flight attendant. A lot of people, they think before they apply for airlines that it's really easy, and then they are absolutely shocked when they see the amount of training, everything that you have to go through, everything that you have to know, and everything that you have to be prepared for. And oh my god, I'm spitting. Yeah, everything that you have to be prepared for, and everything that you will have to prep yourself for on each and every flight. You have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. You have to be prepared for when shit hits the fan all the time. So it is harder than most people think. And it's not that glamorous either, because it's actually, when you think about it, a really dirty job. However, it's also a lot of fun. Someone told me once that if you don't love it, it's gonna kill you. If you love it, you're gonna be stuck. Most probably. You will love it and you will be flying for the rest of your life. That's what I think about myself, at least. So some of you sent in some questions, and someone asked, can you teach us like how to stay calm and not to panic? Well, this is actually training related, because when you do the training course, your instructors will guide you through everything and make sure that you actually do know everything by heart. And once you do, it kind of feels easier not to panic. I mean, you never actually know how you will react in an emergency situation, but most probably, and what's actually known, is that you will react by doing one of the first things that you learned related to whatever issue or whatever situation you're in. And you will have a briefing every day before every flight. Before you start. Every day you will have a briefing where you will be going through safety and emergency related topics and first aid related topics, and sometimes also normal procedures related topics. And how was your first experience as a cabin crew? To be honest, I actually this sounds really weird. I dreamt about becoming a flight attendant or a cabin crew since I was 2 years old. I was actually walking around in my grandmother's apartment with a little trolley. I was walking around in the living room, and in the trolley I had some toys, and I pretended that these toys would be cakes, drinks, whatever. And every time when I was out flying, I actually paid attention to the cabin crew on board and to what they were doing of what we could see, because you cannot see everything that we are doing. There is a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes as well. So my first experience as a cabin crew was actually really good. I felt prepared. And you know, once you have just passed your ground training course, and sometimes they actually say that cabin crews who just had their training course, they are the best because they know everything by heart, because these exams, they are really tough, guys. Don't forget that. So, and also my instructor, she was very nice. So I felt really well prepared. So once I was released, once I had passed my line training, I absolutely loved it from the very first flight, to be honest. And fun fact, my very first flight was from Oslo to Malta. I'll never forget that. So, what was your worst flight and why? I can't really say that I've had a flight that was the best and a flight that was the worst, because in this job, in this occupation, every single day, pretty much every single flight is different. And you have to be prepared to interact with very different kind of people, different kinds of cultures, and you have to be very open-minded and approach people with a smile. It's a job full of variations where you have to be prepared for everything and nothing, and you never know what can happen. So that was actually how you become a flight attendant. So don't forget that if you are very interested in this, you can always send me a DM on Instagram. You can go to my Facebook page right here and send me a message there. I'll do my very best to reply to you. And yeah, just Google cabin crew or flight attendant careers. If you know some airlines, you can also Google the name of the airline and look for their careers. And yeah, good luck.
No te llegan mis señales, a lo mejor son muy casuales. No te llegan mis señales.